This episode of Long Haul is sponsored by Skillshare. Stay tuned for a special offer. We've heard plenty of discussion about Boeing's next move in the mid-size wide-body market. Plans for the NMA, or New Mid-Size Airplane, also dubbed the 797, have been around for some time, but were put on ice with the arrival of a new CEO in 2020. While there is a gap to be filled, Airbus is already ahead with the A321XLR, and with reduced demand likely to be an issue for some time, an offering in this market is important for Boeing. But what is the Boeing NMA, and will Boeing be able to bring the plane to market in time? Since 2015, there have been rumors about Boeing developing a new aircraft, targeting the middle of the market. But would it be a new design entirely, or would it take a wide-body form similar to the 767? Air Lease Corporation's chief executive Steve Udvar-Hazy explained his thoughts on the potential new design in 2015, saying, "We're very intimately involved with Boeing, and based on everything we've seen, I think Boeing is looking at an airplane that's not only a 757 replacement, but one that also could do things beyond that capability in terms of range and size." Several airlines expressed interest in a new aircraft, and it was a big part of discussions at the Paris Air Show in 2015. Nothing official was released from Boeing, but the NMA was expected to be larger than the 757, with a capacity of around 220 and a range of 8,300 kilometers. Airbus CEO Fabrice Bregier estimated that it would cost Boeing around $10 billion to bring a new aircraft like this to the market. There was also a rumoured stretched version, to follow later, which would increase passenger capacity to 267 and have a range of 7,778 kilometres. Although Boeing never officially launched the project, the two models soon were dubbed the 797. Despite interest from some airlines like United, a major Boeing customer, Delta Airlines, Qantas and Icelandair, there was little progress on the project. Many hoped for an official launch at the Paris Air Show in 2019. However, with Boeing reeling from the twin 737 MAX disasters, it was a muted attendance at that air show and no announcement was made. However, in January 2020, Boeing's new chief executive David Calhoun confirmed that NMA plans would be revisited. Since the first clean sheet of paper was taken to it, things have changed a bit. The competitive playing field is a little different. At that time, there were several issues that conspired against the project. The first was ongoing issues with the 737 MAX. Other projects suffered and slowed down as Boeing was dealing with solving the issues and getting the type back in service. Secondly, Airbus launched the A321LR and later the A321XLR, the latter of which was a viable competitor to the target NMA market. Seating up to 220, the A321XLR has a range of up to 8,700 kilometers. This took potential orders away from Boeing before it had even launched a product. And lastly, aircraft development is hugely expensive. And though the slowdown from the pandemic had yet to take effect in early 2020, Boeing had already suffered financially with the 737 MAX issues. Boeing may have had many reasons holding them back from developing the NMA, but what's holding you back from your goals? If you want to add to your skill set for today's rapidly changing markets, why not check out some of the classes available on Skillshare? Choose from thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people, from design and illustration to photography and video, and more. For less than $10 a month, you can have access to an online learning community where millions come together to take the next step in their creative journey. From Louis Foreman's classes on aerospace engineering, which covers fundamentals and advanced concepts, to learning how to build digital airplane models with Art School. Whatever your interest, there's a class for you on Skillshare. The first 1,000 people to use the link in the description will get a free trial of Skillshare Premium membership so you can explore your creativity. Click the link in the description to get started today. For Boeing, the NMA project would fill the gap in the market between the top end offered by the 737 MAX and the smallest 787. Their last offering in that range, the 757, ended production in 2004. Boeing itself previously estimated demand in the market for around 5,000 to 7,000 units. Airbus, conversely, has continued to pay attention to this area of the market. It has opted to expand the capabilities of the A320 series rather than develop a clean sheet design. The plane maker launched the A321LR in 2015 and it entered service in 2018 with launch customer Arkia. This extended the range of the A321 to 7,400 kilometers using additional fuel tanks with a capacity of 206 in a typical two-class layout and an exit limit of 240. With the possibility to operate transatlantic flights, it has quickly moved into the space the NMA could have occupied. TAP Air Portugal currently has the largest fleet of A321LR aircraft, 9, with 3 more on order. Other operators include Arkia, Aer Lingus, Air Astana, SAS, Air Azores, Gulf Air and Air Transat. JetBlue has begun taking delivery of its order of 13 aircraft to supplement capacity for its recently launched transatlantic service with a new Mint business class. Meanwhile, Qatar Airways has 10 on order. The real game changer, however, is the upcoming A321XLR. It offers a range of 8,700 kilometers with additional center and rear fuel tanks. It's due to enter the market in 2023. There are currently at least 450 orders for the A321XLR. The largest are from American Airlines and United, with 50 aircraft each. Qantas, AirAsia, Air Arabia, Wizz Air, Frontier, Vietjet and JetBlue all have more than 10 aircraft orders each. This, of course, presents a serious challenge for Boeing. Demand for new aircraft may be suffering from the current slowdown, but it would be unlikely to leave this market segment entirely to its competitor. Furthermore, lower capacity planes will likely come out stronger as the situation improves. Serving long-haul routes with a lower capacity not only addresses a growing shift to point-to-point operations, but also reflects this reduced demand. So what could Boeing launch as a new NMA to compete with the A321XLR? While the company has confirmed nothing, there are a few possibilities. A full new clean sheet design is still possible, but given that this was previously put on hold, it seems unlikely. It's also an expensive and time-intensive option, which may make it less appealing given that Boeing is already behind in the mid-sized market. Will Boeing go for a narrow-body or wide-body? At the time of the NMA project pause, CEO David Calhoun explained that he wanted to understand both options. He said, "We will not design our next airplane on the basis of the A321. I know where the NMA is targeted now, and I want to be sure I understand everything about the wide-body and narrow-body worlds." An option for a narrow-body design is to use the 737 MAX as a springboard, as Airbus did with the A321neo. This would compete directly with the A321XLR, building on the 737 MAX with a new design allowing additional fuel storage. Another option is to make updates to the already popular 757 or 767. These aircraft fit the middle of the market segment well, and this would be much cheaper than a brand new development. 757 MAX would make sense in many ways. Many airlines know and like the 757, and of course it is already certified. A similar model to the 757-300 could seat around 240 passengers and offer improved range and efficiency with the addition of new engines. New cabin technology and integration of composite materials could offer further improvements. In that vein, there have also been rumours of a 767X. It would re-engine the original wide-body with a General Electric GEnx and likely offer a passenger and a freighter variant. It would probably need a modified landing gear due to the larger engines, but few other changes. If you think you've heard of the 767X, it's because it was originally proposed in the 1980s. It was put forward as a partial second-deck 767 variant, but it never made it out of the proposal stage. If Boeing goes with a wide-body, it could also use the 787 as the base for the NMA. The original plan for the 787 included a short-haul 787-3 variant. This would have a capacity of 290 to 330 in between the 787-9 and 787-10, but in an aircraft the same size as the 787-8. With denser seating, the range would be reduced. Such a model would have suited the US or Japanese domestic market well. Japanese airlines ANA and Japan Airlines ordered the 787-3 but switched these to the 787-8 after program delays. Could the 787-3 now fill the role of the NMA? The possibility of a 787X has been discussed before. Its efficiency would be an improvement over upgrading the 757 or 767, and Boeing has efficient 787 production lines in operation. Only time will tell which option Boeing will proceed with. One thing is for sure, Boeing needs to do something. It simply cannot leave this market segment to its European competitor. If it does, it closes the door on what is a growing and lucrative field, and one in which Airbus already has a good head start. What do you think about Boeing's NMA plans? Was it right to put them on hold? And where do you think development will head next? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Did you know that we publish over 175 stories every single week on simpleflying.com? Be sure to check the link in the description for more great stories just like this.